Welcome to UEOM Internet Church, October 13, 2024, Episode 21. The human imagination's inherent ability to formulate conceptually is an integral self-otherness discoverable design science attribute that intuitively wants to comprehensively function as an individual design integrity of universe's eternal omniscient mind, UEOM. Curiosity about UEOM, the supreme indescribable intelligence beyond all space and time, is a fleeting awareness that inspires the human imagination to exceed whatever was previously explained and supposedly understood to selves evolving consciousness and curiosities during systemic thoughts, natural interrelating, and communicating proclivities. Satisfy potential comprehension throughout every trial and error information gathering cosmic to local problem solving function of omnirational universe apparently is a motivating compulsion to answer one's unasked questions that are applicable to the stars and galaxies, the formation of moons and planets, the way crystals are formed, the magnetic fields, all dimension and system, self-regenerating pattern integrity. Cosmic logically, our intelligent species, humans of universe, eternal, omniscient minds, design, are intended to exist as universe explorers. Therefore, our integral computer, the cerebral circuitry design, is also a monitor that physically stores the images observed by the synergetic mind. Physical brain and metaphysical mind synergetically process every degree of information that can be described in words, numbers, images to satisfy the individual's curiosity that can vacillate between trusting and distrusting the information resource. When the information resource is controlled by PRJWBCHM, politics, religion, justice, war, belief complex, hierarchical matrix, the descriptions of God relate to reward and punishment, which are inventions by the human imagination to serve such objective. Rewards typically convey satisfying imagination's longing to experience the ultimate self-accrediting, highest achievable honor. Punishment typically conveys dishonor to the basest imaginable depth with increasing temperatures beyond all rational thought, so long as it is an inescapable destination. Since rewards and punishments are contrived by the human imagination, the concepts as such serve the PRJW factors, and whichever image of God best authorizes and permits the indoctrinated mentality to pursue such objective that is satisfied by the belief because it assures forgiveness for the mistakes that are classified as sins. In its entirety, the PRJWBCHM promotes God by whichever sound word is adopted in that particular location somewhere on planet Earth, which contextually is the religion practice therein that can become so powerfully controlling to convince the followers of it that their belief and their God are the truest one, even when a human personality is seemingly incomparable to ordinary humans. The people in that place and time agree is the one and only Son of God. But those connotations, while devoted to best possible human behavior, also adapts to imagination's rewards and punishment scenarios, omitting by default slave mentality conditioning the anticipatory design science curiosity of the eternal omniscient mind that is indescribably beyond all space and time. Such omniscience, logically, is transcendental in its velocity to the physical speed of all radiation, which may indicate an integral necessity in the design of humans to mindfully explore and discover integral technology, which is the computer brain, without which humans do not exist as an evolving species. We have an integral time sense to sleep and awaken that also requires essential elements. From one generation to every subsequent, always partially overlapping generation, humans naturally learn to survive by trial and error steps. The trial and error steps can be cautiously careful to look before leaping, to intuitively assess and reassess potential harm when there is sufficient time in that process, and which can be suppressed from exercising the freedom so to do once the individual is overpowered by fear, by numbers, and whose compromised intellection renders its discovery and curiosity relatively null and void. So, questions of whom, what, where, when, why, God, can be quelled by PRJWBCHM as the human imagination settles into the indoctrination. The problem with the compromise does not satisfy everyone's integrally intuitive curiosity about the stars, the atoms, the protons, neutrons, neutrinos, electrons, smallest invisible energy that must be essential for life to exist before humans populated planet Earth, even when such populations can be as an evolving mammalian from the primates or as directly beamable as a design integrity for solving otherwise irresolute problems caused by the imagination's mistaken attributions that are destructively inclined beyond cosmic logical comprehension. Fortunately, our 21st century humanity is not limited by histories of the PRJWBCHM, even though it is a powerfully persuasive contextual parameter that predominantly controls computer technological communication systems. Since now we have Synergetics 201.11 to study, to memory store, to read again and again, correlating to our innate curiosity and design science aptitude as a satisfiable function of omnirational universe. Why must we be persuaded not to wonder about the differentiated proclivities of the always and only coexisting complementarities and motion freedoms listed in Synergetics 201.11? I ask, especially since imaging our integral design as an evolving species is of universe eternal omniscient mind, and not as any imaginably contrived PRJWBCHM ambitious claim that resorts in every special case experience to the inculcating indoctrinations, including rewards and punishment scenarios that omit by slave mentality program conditioning all that is listed in Synergetics 201.10, accommodation of proclivities, phases, and disciplines. It is an individual choice that selects from these lists what to study and explore. It can be when curiosity about the metaphysical truth that produces the commonwealth of human life support becomes increasingly dissatisfied with the counterproductive measures. Take, for instance, associative and dissociative asking. Do spheres dissociate while tetrahedra spontaneously associate? Or, since energy consists of two main behavior phases, what about its associative phase respecting a matter of concern when making tools that always refer to the principle, and its dissociative phase correlating to conceptualities of gravity and radiation, even pertaining to the levers, generators, electric generators? Then would this be potentially relevant to a self-governing system when forming a more perfect union, regardless how seemingly unrelated metaphysical generalized conceptioning can technically be discredited by the predominating education PRJWBCHM influences? As R. Buckminster Fuller stated at World Game Workshop, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, June 22nd, 1977, in quotes, the mites identify with quarks. There is no limit to having HALVING, the mites, into lower and lower altitude scalene tetrahedra. The incredibly small volumes, which conceptually are the A and B quantum modules, end quote. In other words, the UIVMOFCH universe, isotropic, vector matrix, operational field, cosmic hierarchy, energy modules can seem to be too remote, too far removed from any correlation to forming a more perfect union to questions of God as a forbidden, taboo, hands-off inquiry, yet soon becomes relevant to our 21st century consciously evolving humanity's inherent curiosity concerning UEOM and correlations to what must have been a designing projection before all space and time. Surely, the entire list in Synergetics 201.11 is relevant to any previously unasked or unanswered question, as humans historically are pressured into compromising intuition so that the PRJWBCHM can survive for all time. Our inquiry now can include Synergetics 539.04 quantum wave phenomena sequence, besides curiosity about the essential cells in our human anatomy that ought to be of great interest to every generation's healthy, happy survival, as we are learning from books listed under suggested reading in these Internet Church episodes. We can be synergetically mindful when informed that, in quotes, the system generates itself whenever there is an event. An event can evolve as the generalized content within the research writer's intended contributions to TUCP, the Universal Communications Process. Since, in quotes, the system actually regenerates itself as an eternal rebirth system. Synergetics 540. Frame of reference. Suggested reading, Synergetics Table of Contents. Synergetics 201.10, accommodations of proclivities, phases, and disciplines. Synergetics 539.04, quantum wave phenomena sequence. Synergetics 540, frame of reference. Synergetics figure 950.12. 3. Self-hacking, all space filling, irregular tetrahedra. Until next time, thank you. From Christina, Universe Citizen.